My name is Anne Mullee. I'm the Curator in residence here at South Tipperary Arts Centre for 2020. And as part of the programme, we selected 3 artists to participate in the mentoring programme, which culminated in this exhibition of new work.
At the beginning of the year, we decided to institute a programme for mentoring and supporting artists in the county. We put out a call, and in response to that, we selected 3 artists, Lorraine Cleary, Sheenagh B Geoghegan and Nocht Studio, who are made up of Ryan Martin McGloin. As the exhibition is installed but not open to the public, we have decided to do a video walkthrough to allow visitors to get a flavour of the work and learn more about the artists and their practice. Lorraine Cleary is an artist based in rural County Tipperary. She is a graduate of Limerick School of Art. She makes work using found objects and textiles, which she paints and reassembles. Lorraine's work addresses domestic abuse. She explores this in this piece, Lady Caterpillar, by creating a huge garment made out of fragments of clothing that belonged to women. The fragments mostly come from second-hand shops, charity shops, that kind of thing, and are of every type imaginable, from silks and satins, which you might associate with bridal wear, to flowery cotton dresses, to bits of washcloth, through to more everyday fabrics that women might wear as dresses or blouses. The garment is suspended from the ceiling on crossed mops, much like a marionette or a puppet. This gives a feeling of control of a person and of a woman. But the dress or the garment also consumes elements that we associate with the domestic. So, for example, there's an iron and an ironing board, bucket for washing the floor, a chair where a tired housewife might sit, that are being consumed slowly by the garment. Some of the objects are also held in place by large concrete blobs. They give the feeling of the heaviness of domesticity and the struggle to maintain a standard of domestic cleanliness and efficiency that we associate really with housewives of years gone by, and not at all with a contemporary experience. Lorraine has also included a mug with the legend "I'd rather be shopping" ticked on it. The kind of funny, making a joke of hard work. It's a very powerful piece, and Lorraine has developed it throughout the pandemic, hand sewing all of the pieces, which has taken her a really long time. But she felt that using that hand skill was really important to the authenticity of the piece. I'm going to move on now to some of the objects that have been made for this exhibition by Nocht Studio. The background of both members of Nocht is in architecture and product design, and they're interested in applying what they've learned there to an artistic practice. What they're doing with these objects, which they've been working on for approximately 2 years, is applying some design thinking to concepts around the self and self-objectification. 3 of the objects allow the viewer or the audience member to either see themselves in a mirror, which is part of the makeup of the object, or to attempt to see themselves in a mirror. The series is called Narcissus 1, 2, 3 and 4. And obviously there are parallels with the legend of Narcissus, in love with his own image, and the way that we appear to be in love with our image in the 21st century, familiar as we are with the ease of which we can make our own image through our smartphones or computers in a way that would be revolutionary and unthinkable in previous centuries, given that we've only been able to capture an image through photography since the 19th century. Narcissus 3 is an object shaped like a huge acoustic horn made of ply, actually hand sanded, to create a really smooth finish, which was then inked and oiled. And this large structure, which they nicknamed the spinner, is fitted with a circular mirror at the end that we'd normally associate with the loudspeaker end of a horn, where the sound would come from in a horn. The spinner is fitted with sensors which, when approached by a viewer, cause it to spin away from the person attempting to look into its mirror. A smaller model of the spinner, mounted on a plinth, is a prototype developed by the pair in order to illustrate how the piece will work and how the piece will be seen. This piece illustrates how Narcissus 3 will behave when visitors attempt to view it. Their next piece is Narcissus 2, a two-way mirror displayed in a darkened space, which has an orange light on one side and a blue light on the other side mounted at the top. This is a piece that is activated when seen by two people, one on either side of the mirror. The lights illuminate each visitor in turn, allowing them to see through the mirror to the other person. This creates a kind of disturbing, unsettling feeling of somebody being in the mirror, somebody being behind one looking in the mirror, and interrupting our perception of ourself. Another piece which is activated using sensor technology is Narcissus 1, a circular mirror mounted at head height which alters its illumination when approached by a viewer. This kind of disrupts the experience of looking in a mirror and the expectations of looking in a mirror. The viewer can't really see themselves properly because the light changes from illuminating the centre of the mirror to the sides. All of the pieces reference the way that we look at ourselves and see ourselves. I think it'll be really exciting to see the larger spinner piece working at a later date, and I'm delighted that Philip and Martin have gotten an opportunity to get the pieces to a state where they can be exhibited. Artist Sheenagh B Geoghegan, also a Tipperary native, has been quite prolific during the pandemic, making a series of drawings, paintings and collages that frequently reference the stresses and sense of pressure that we're all experiencing throughout the pandemic. Sheenagh has used multimedia to create images that are ambiguous. Some of them look like they contain faces, and some of them look like they contain the faces of animals. There are layers of meaning in the work that conjure up notions of anxiety and experimentation, and chemical symbols to the outlines of beakers and test tubes leave the viewer feeling a little bit unsettled. The painting entitled Madonna, a line painting of a woman's face, has the kind of mournful expression that we associate with a lot of the Renaissance images of the Virgin. And in this instance, she wasn't intended to be a Madonna, but perhaps she's taken on the kind of sense of martyrdom that we are perhaps associating with these times. Sheenagh has also produced a beautiful text which will be released online, and this fragmentary piece explores how she's been feeling throughout the pandemic. An artist who is very much in touch with her intuition when she's making work. She has been painting furiously, writing and drawing. Thank you for watching this video tour of the exhibition, and I'd like to take this opportunity again to thank all of the artists for participating in a programme that was supposed to be 3 or 4 months long and became the year's work.